Hello guys, this is just your horses. You can tell that's out of here. I'm doing my review for episodes 5 through 6 of Loki, the finale, the end of the show. Spoilers alert. Definitely, spoiler alert, but let me make that clear. But definitely the end of the show. Nothing else for this show planned. Definitely. Anyway, let's just jump right in it. 'Cause there's a lot to talk about, especially with episode 6. I think for episode 5, sorry if I rushed through, but compared to episode 6 is going to be the episode I'm talking about. So episode 5 kicks off. We're in the void, which is the end of time, before this giant creature comes in, and I forget the name, and destroys things. The Loki variants come to help him to safety, and he's like, we need to get to the TV, we need to do this. He's like, we tried everything, nothing works. So yeah, that eventually leads to them getting into a hut. They kind of have some really in-depth conversations about what they did, and the classic Loki had a kind of interesting tale because his was like his is that he wanted to try anything good because he wasn't killed by Thanos. He went off into space, and he then missed his brother, and he wanted to kind of make things right. And the TVA swooped in when he was about to do something good. Which is quite sad when you think about it. That there's alligator Loki, there's kid Loki, there's boastful Loki. There's just a bunch of Lokis. And in this void, there's so many little Easter eggs. So you can see the Thanos copter, which is Thanos' helicopter in the comics as well. There is Frog 4, Mjolnir's there. There's a lot of stuff. So that's kind of what Loki's up to. I'll get to that in a second. Sylvie is having a conversation with the boss lady, and she agrees. She's like, I don't know. I'm just as shocked as you are about what we just found out. And so they agree to tell each other, but in reality, the boss lady was just luring her into a place where the guards can come, and they but she didn't learn about the void, and you're likely to find who's responsible at the end of time of the void. So she's like, okay, jets herself before they can get her. She goes into the void, and then we of course go, what's wrong with me? Then once Sylvie gets up, she's in this bus. As the creature comes, she enchants it for a quick second. She sees a castle, and then she kind of moves on, and she kind of moves on, but then we don't see her anymore. She's running away from the creature. Pizza bus comes in. Mobius, not Morbius. That's a different guy. Mobius comes in, and he's like, "Get in, let's go." And yeah, so that's kind of we're there. Then she tells us we gotta go back. She's like, fine, we'll figure our way through that. So that's kind of what they're doing. Let's go back to Loki. He knows that they need to sort out this problem with the TVA, so he tells once we gotta help this lady Loki. She's great. We gotta go and help her wherever that way that is. Let's go. And Logan's like, no, but she went. He kind of over there, and there was another Loki, President Loki, and he turns out he was led there by boastful Loki, because he's like, they're doing because Kid Loki's the king. He's the king. Loki's president, and he doesn't like that. He wants to take over. And then they're catching guards, and he's like, well, what did you expect? Then all his guards, which might be Loki fans, I don't know, just point them at his neck. It's like, oh no, then crocodile alligator Loki just bites his hand off, and then they're able to escape without boastful Loki, of course. Boastful Loki's still down there doing his thing. So they agreed to help him, the plans of which is to destroy, but when they meet up with Sylvie and Mobius, they destroying it's a stupid idea. If we enchant it, it can lead us to who's behind this all. And that's interesting. That's kind of the main point of the show, and things get really crazy in the next episode. So they have a plan. Classic Loki and Kid Loki, and I guess Alligator Loki say they don't want to leave. This is their home. So that's kind of them. And then as Mobius is going because Sylvie brought like a tempad thing with her, and she gives it to Morbius, and Morbius is going to TVA to basically ruin that establishment. And yeah, that's kind of where that's at. What's wrong with me today? And then they go this is how Loki says he's going with Sylvie, and as Loki tries to distract them so she can enjoy it, but it doesn't work. So classic Loki comes in and uses power to build the entirety of Asgard, to show the entirety of Asgard, which gives the monster distracting, so they kind of like hold hands, work together to like turn, to enchant it, and they successfully do, but classic Loki dies in the process. And also in this scene there's this really good thing where they're kind of talking, Loki and Sylvie, about, and then you can feel that really strong connection between the two. There's also a really good hug scene when Morbius and Loki hug, and it's actually quite emotional. I remember, getting all worked up about that. And yeah, and that's when the show ends with the beast being enchanted and the castle. And now let's go to episode 6, and my goodness, so much stuff happened, and that ended. Literally, I was shocked. I was literally in tears by the end of it. I was complete shock. Tears are already coming back just thinking about it. My brain is just blown. Like, my goodness, I can't believe I'm tearing up, and I'm just explaining what happened. Like, this shocked me the way they did it. This was a fantastic end to season 1. Yes, season 1. I'll get back into that in a second. Because it's not just a limited series, there's more to it. I'll go through it quickly. Basically, there's a mid-credit scene at the end before the black and white credits. There's a name, it says Lufus and Loki, and a stamp goes on, it says Loki will return in season 2. So we're getting a season 2. I'll touch more on that in a second with my thoughts. So they go into this castle. Clockwork Lady's like, you can have everything you want, we can put you back in your time, like, we can make a deal out of this. And they're like, nah, we make our own destiny. She's like, well, okay, then. Then he goes back to the woman, she's like, I don't know what you need. She's like, but this is all what a bit. He said, but this might be what you need. And which I hope that first, I think she's paying herself to leave. And Morbius comes in, he's like, hey, I'm not dead. She's like, well, I figured everyone would survive it. She's like, you can't stop free will, and people should live their life properly. He's like, but maybe this is needed. Maybe it's not good, but maybe this is needed. I need to know that I was taken alive for a reason. I guess that's interesting to see her point of view, because this is all her. She knows she is under the impression that she did not betray him, he betrayed her, which she's wrong, but it's very interesting, that kind of side of it. And she kind of says, she attempts to bring because he won't follow this. And then she's like, she orders the guys to come, but it doesn't work because the women girl, the big women girl, women girl, I should have said big. I don't want to create that kind of, thought. That was not intentional. Sorry. But that guard, she lures them into this school. Lures the guards into this school. When they come into a head teacher, and we see Boss Lady coming in, and in her real life, she's like, what are you guys doing there? And the guard's so confused that he explains. And he's like, yeah, the guards kind of know the truth now. So, you're done. And he attempts to free her because, I don't know, he aggravated or something. But she grabs it, she's about to free her. He turns and walks through the portal. And that's the last we see of her. Yeah, so now let's get back to the castle. So, I saw the timeline of that went to the episode's a bit off, but yeah. They're in a castle, they find this, a man, just a normal chill man. Turns out we find it. Which at first I was a bit disappointed, but it builds to something bigger, so I don't mind. That's all I'll say. And if you go at this lift, every time Lady Loki tries to kill him, sorry, he just transports somewhere else. We find out why in a second. Then we get into the office and he explains the reason why you can't kill me is because I have everything. I know everything that's going to happen, and which means I can't be killed before then. But at least a very impactful like finale state. He tells them why he created this because he's like, at first the multiverse lived in peace. They did it to best of the other multiverses, but eventually, especially variants of him, because some variants were incredibly evil and just caused complete and utter chaos and power to end up fighting. So he found this beast that's at the void, learned how to control it, and use it to help create the one sacred timeline which he's in charge of. And there is evilness to it, but you can see where he's coming from, and that's why the Lokis are kind of. That's kind of why I find there to be a weird similarity because they're doing evil things, but like he convinced them to do evil things are good. Because he said at one point that maybe they should take his spot at the top because he found out he's like, yeah, I knew everything that was going to happen to about 10 seconds ago. Now I don't know what's going to happen. There's only two ways this ends. You kill me and the multiverse goes into complete tatters and war and everything, or you can take over and stop it. And so he goes to kill it. And Loki's like, stop. But maybe it's why I lie a lot and I think he tells the truth. He's like, you want it for the throne. And the reality is he doesn't want it for the throne. He's like, this is bigger than any of us. And they just causes a massive intense fight. And then he's about to, she gets in the way and stops and drops it from him. He's like, look, I don't want the throne. This is bigger than us. And I just want you to, I just care about you. I don't know why I feel this way, I just do. And it's actually quite an emotional scene, you can see him tearing up. It's actually quite an effective scene. And then they kiss, despite what you think about him kissing another version of him, despite what you thought. It made sense, it was building up to that. But then Loki says, I'm not you, pushes, I assume she set up with their 10 parallel pull, pushes him through it. He's at the TVA, or a TVA. More than that in a bit. So she then goes and kills him, because he has warned that if you kill me, what's going to happen is more evil people, but even more evil versions of me are going to come, and they're going to make things incredibly bad. And they killed him. He's like, I see you around, and just dies. And you could already have, in the timeline intention, the timeline was already like branching out. If they agreed to take over, then the branch would stop branching out. It would just be one singular timeline. But because he killed, it just continues branching out. And there's so many branches, like it's incredible, and Loki. And you have that feeling, it's not this feeling what you thought, like, yeah, free will's back, people can live their lives with not being taken away for no reason. It was built up as this really great, great ending. That's the way they're building up, but when we get to the episode, it's like, oh no. Like, this is bad. This is really bad. You create that feeling of just, I was feeling like tension. I was like, my goodness, you can tell Loki is worried, and because he's down the TVA, a version of TVA, and he's running around, he finds Morris, he doesn't know about these, and he tells him it's too late, it's confusing, but the timeline's out of time, something very bad is going to happen, and Morris is like, relax, what's your station, who are you, where's your station? He thinks he's an He's like, She was sent into a different multiverse. They don't know who he is. And they found out there's only 66 branches of the timeline within the TVA alone. Like, man. And they don't know, he's in shock. Morbius kind of calls for help. And then we see this statue, it's a statue of him. So this branch, he's like still a child, I assume, oh, he's still around. I just thought that. He said about the more evil versions. In this branch, there's a more evil version of him that's controlling everything. And he's just and he's making it known so he's a statue. And then the show cuts credit. And surprisingly, there's no proper post-credit scene. In the mid-credit scene, of course, they confirm a season 2. Like it says, Rufus and Loki. I don't know if that's a different Loki. Maybe it's not, because I think that might be the first round name. But it puts a stamp and says Loki will return in season 2. Before this show came, I was skeptical because I didn't like when they brought back dead characters. It didn't add really any stakes to it. But man, no, I was wrong. This is the perfect movie. You're given a good reason why you brought back this Loki character. There's more to tell. The show ends a complete tears. I don't know when we get season 2. I don't think we're gonna get it like after the Multiverse of Madness, which that Doctor Strange film. Cause that's literally what it's about. And now that's how it has. Now that film has loads more stake. Multiverse of Madness. And now I'm just thinking about it, with Wanda in that post-credit scene, which he hears her kids who are gone in the timeline. She's hearing that from another branch timeline that has been created because of Loki. And that's how she becomes the villain for Doctor Strange 2. It's coming together. I can feel it coming together. Like there's really a plan here. My goodness, I'm even shocked. Spider-Man No Way Home's probably going to bring in the other Spider-Man from different variants. And yeah, this is incredible. When I was building up to it, I would say it was like an A level, like, tier maker. I was always putting that at A level, but because of the impact this finale had, and the rest of the show, and the impact this finale of season 1 has, I would give it this. This is a fantastic scene. I think probably in terms of importance, the best thing we have in Phase 4 so far. That's why I'm probably going to give this like a 9 out of 10. This was genuinely brilliant. As a whole, this series gets a 9 out of 10. So that's it. Those are my thoughts on the season 1. Let me know what you thought about the show in the comment section below. Subscribe to the channel, like the video, turn notifications, never miss a video. Let me know what you thought of season 1 and added going forward. Man, I'm so excited for what's to come. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.